Good morning. Welcome to the G Spot Experience with your girl Germaine. And today's brew is all about aligned, not just busy. Ooh, I can't wait to get into this one because I've been living in this space, this vein of, man, I'm so busy right now. But don't get it twisted. I want to make sure busy for you as well as me means productivity. So we're gonna give it a few moments as people are chiming in, but yeah, lately it's been really busy, busy, but I can't wait to really dive in because this even bought, really preparing for this message today, this coffee break. It really just made me like just pause because you know what we do. We take a pause and we pour into purpose on the G Spot experience coffee break. And so I'm drinking my coffee today. Not sure what you're drinking, but just be drinking something. All right. Give me a second. That coffee's good too. So if you're chiming in, just hit me up in the comments and let me know you're in the community with me. I would love to get your feedback as we're going through. And also, if you are watching this, please make sure I put it in the description to just, if you're not on YouTube, just go over to my YouTube channel, Hope of Vision Connect. That's the community over there. And then just subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. We are building these numbers, trying to get them up, trying to build a community up on a global level because it's good to get insight and feedback from others to see what others are thinking, how some of these coffee breaks may be resonating with others. So I'm curious to know. And I really want to get this mixed blend launched on Tuesdays, which is all about community. It's about your feedback, your input, how things are resonating with you, how you may have, saw that some of these coffee breaks were actually right in the vein of what you were dealing with. So we want to know. And then also, if you're someone and your story, you have this sensation, this burning desire to just say, you know what, it's time. I'm ready to get my story out in the marketplace. Um, I don't want you to focus on who you think, what you think, and what people may say. I want you to focus on you. Just focus on you. What is your story? And are you willing to share it with others? Because you never know who may be in need of it, right? Well, let me get into this message because I am working on time. I do not want to hold you long. Coffee breaks of 5, 10, 15 minutes. That's what I say. Lately, we've been running a little over. It's been brewing over, spilling over, right? But let's talk about aligned, not just busy. And so take a pause so we can pour into purpose today. So let's talk truth. Hmm. Busy doesn't mean blessed. Busy doesn't mean blessed. We live in a culture that celebrates the grind, the hustle, the nonstop schedule, but at what cost? Is it at the cost that you can be booked and still broken? Is it at the cost you can be productive and still misaligned? Is it at the cost you can be constantly doing, and yet going nowhere that truly matters? Let that just steep for a moment if you're drinking tea, right? Let that just steep for a moment. Let that just brew for a moment. I want you to think about that. Just because you're busy, it doesn't always mean that it's productive, that you're aligned. It doesn't always mean that you're going in the right direction. Hmm. Yeah, I want you to think about that. And you know what? I always say I'm first partaker of my own messages because I'm guilty. Sometimes you can exhaust yourself, extremely exhausted. And then when you think about it, it's like, what did I really get done today? Did I get anything done? I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels and I got to get back up tomorrow and start this all over again. So we have on my Instagram, welcome Cortez Official. And we have Finesse on Facebook. Thank you. True statement. Yeah. So you can relate. You can relate that we will exhaust ourselves for ourselves, or better yet, most times we exhaust ourselves for others. Now, we're going to talk about that because others will have you running and you don't totally lost focus, totally off track, somewhere else, totally out of alignment. But let's talk about it. So I want you to remember this statement and add, you know what? I want to put this statement also in I want to put it up on the screen. So give me a second. This statement that I want to put up on the screen as a banner for all to see is busyness. Here we go. Busyness is movement, alignment is direction. Busyness is just you moving around, right? It's just movement, constantly moving, doing something. But alignment is going to be focus, clear direction. Where are you going? Where's your destination taking you? Where do you want to end up at? So, you got to add alignment to that busyness. Okay. Don't just be busy and it looks good. And people think, wow, you got a lot going on. You could be completely exhausting yourself going in a totally wrong direction. Think about it. Okay. All right. So, also, let me just put that in the chat too, because I think that's a really good statement. So, bear with me. Hold on. I want to add this to the chat as a statement for you all that whenever you feel like you're overwhelming yourself or somebody got you running crazy, keep this in mind. Busyness is movement, alignment is direction. All right. So, let's continue on. So, if you're not careful, your calendar will fill up quickly with everyone else's priorities. Has that happened to you? It's happened to me. And the thing is, you might want to go back and listen to the coffee brew that talks about the power of your no. And there's a separate one that talks about your yes. So, because sometimes you don't know how to say no, and for whatever your reasons may be, you take on the responsibility of you know, someone else's busyness. And then next thing you know, it's like, dang, I ain't getting nothing done myself. So now I gotta wait a whole nother day to try to play catch up. Whew, you will exhaust yourself. I mean, exhaust yourself. Okay. So I want you to keep these things in mind because you know what? Just like I talked about earlier, we live in a culture that celebrates the grind. We live in a culture that is all about the hustle, nonstop. We look busy. We look busy like we got a whole lot going on, but busy doesn't always mean blessed. Mm-mm. It's just movement. Okay. And then in some cases, it very well can mean that you are in proper alignment. Things are going in the right direction, whether it's your business, is prospering. But this is a really, this is speaking to me personally. This is a really good coffee break today. I'm learning day to day to say no. Yes, say no. you know no, there's a power behind that. Make sure you go back and listen to the power of no, that coffee break. Okay. All right. So, but let's look at this. So while your purpose sits in the background waiting for your yes, that's what we do. We take on everybody else's stuff, and the thing is, you got to really evaluate. Are you the person that needs to be needed? Do you need to feel validated because people are coming to you, pulling on you, needing something from you? Please don't get it twisted. People will exhaust you knowing they can get from you. And in the meantime, You are just wrecking your brain, putting things on hold that should be your priority for the sake of pleasing somebody else. And this is the funny thing about that. When you're in the pleasing business, pleasing other people, the funny thing about that is people will take everything from you. They will deplete you and then leave you and move on to the next person that they can do the same thing to. Be mindful. Make you the priority. And you know what? Once again, go back to that coffee break that talks about you being the leading person in your story. You are the leading lady, the leading man in your story. Don't give that top spot to anybody else. All right? Because if you're not good, how are they going to be good? Right? Think about it. Okay. Lady Fabulous, thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. So, but guys, please let me know. Can anybody relate to this? Are you in a season right now in your life that you feel like it is so overwhelming? You are so busy. And when you think about it, now that you're getting clarity on it, am I just busy with movement or am I aligned in the direction that I am purposed to go in? I want to leave that question for you to think. But if you feel like you want to share that in the comments, even after this live, share it and let's start the discussion because it's happening. It is happening and people are busy. And you know what? We use the phrase life is just lifing right now. Life is lifing. So, but let's kind of bring this coffee break to a close because I'm getting better with my time. I'm going to get better with my time. All right. So remember your purpose, it sits in the background while you're so busy waiting for you to say yes. This coffee break is your divine check in. Are you doing what you're called to do or just doing what you're capable of doing? You weigh the options on that one. Okay. I'm just leaving these for thought questions for you to really kind of marinate on, for you to, you know, sip on, let it brew. All right. So when you're aligned, I'm gonna give you three things. Peace replaces pressure when you're aligned. Clarity replaces confusion when you're aligned. Grace replaces grind. Now, the good thing about these recordings, these live recordings, you can always go back and play it again. Okay. And then I like to also send out little clips also of some catchy points, but that's a good one. And I'm going to say it one more time. When you're aligned, peace replaces pressure, clarity replaces confusion, grace replaces grind. So today, let's trade the badge of busy for the boldness of being aligned. Okay? Do that for you. I'm going to do it for me. Even though I got a list of things on my list, but you know what? One of my mentor coaches said, he said, Germaine, schedule your 24. Okay? The champion coach, um, Vernon Shazier, new Dr. Vernon Shazier. He said, schedule your 24. And what that means, because I said, what does that mean? What that means is there's 24 hours in a day. Be productive and schedule them out. So you are focused and clear on what is your time and then what time you want to expand and open to others. But remember, make you the leader in your story, in your life. Okay. And then he also said, prioritize what are your top three things you must get done in a day. That will help. And the reason I'm saying is I was speaking to one of my authors who was a guest on the Authors Friday Brew, Monica Thompson, RN, who's doing the books on puberty or sex talk for our young people, right? That talks about the body and everything. But she shared a story saying, girl, I got like 30 things on my list. And it just hit me. Schedule your 24. Schedule your 24 and what's the top 3 things you must get done today. Once those things are off your list, then you know what? Add a few more things if you have time. So I hope this message today helped you because it is definitely helping me as I look at my list of things I have to get done, right? So, what I want you to do, I want you to sip slow. I want you to clear the clutter, and I just want you to walk in your divine direction. Can you do that? All right. And like I said, if you need to play this back and listen to it again, it is there for you to do that. And as a reminder, if you have not already gone over to YouTube to my Hope of Vision Connect community, the link is in the description for you to subscribe. We are trying to hit our first huge milestones of 10,000 followers. And guess what? We're at 8,600. So we're almost there. So, but share this information with somebody. I hope something today that was spoken resonates with you. And if you are one that's dealing with busyness, remember, busyness is movement, alignment is direction. So, have a wonderful day. If any of this applies, make sure you apply it to whatever can help you have a smoother, aligned day with all that you have to do. Thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you on tomorrow's coffee break. Have a great day. Bye.